the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us names. I can feel the sun shining.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Brian, and today is Monday, April 29th, 2024, and this is episode 686 of the Lots Project podcast, and today's episode is titled Bath Time, and I'll be chatting about a much overdue bath, Amazon updates, and a Canadian game show, and a little bit more. First, let's check out who's hanging out in the live chat in that coffee crew. Grab a cup and hang out for about an hour. Good morning. How is everybody doing? Digger in way early. Holy crap, before 5 o'clock. Earliest he's ever been. Did you get up early this morning or just hanging around and didn't realize what time it was? Rewilder Life is roasting her beans, running late. Let me grab a sip here and then we'll scroll down. Good morning, Cormac. How we doing? Chris Dixon, thanks for stopping in as always. And that looks like about it in the chat right at the moment. Slip over to the vertical feed. That's rolling again this morning. Forgot to do that on Friday. That was great. About the end of the show, I clicked over and realized I hadn't started that. Nobody popping in over on Twitch yet. We will see a little later this morning if we have anybody roll in there. Oh, Digger was hungry. Angry. Got up this morning because I was hangry. Dixon had to pee. Get up and pee. Is this a little too early for you, Chris? I sometimes wonder if it's a little too early for me, and then I just get up and do it anyway, because that's what I've been doing for the last, 3 years or so. Good morning, K-Bonk. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. What's in the cup today? New bag this week. New bag. We opened up a light Colombian. Yes, Hector, the light Colombian, makes another appearance in the coffee cup. Hector is a beautiful, clean, light Colombian bean roasted. Roasted so wonderfully. Good morning, One Take Records. Thanks for stopping in. If you guys don't know, that's Pickle Pete, and also Scrambling Mr. Norton from Food Forest Farms, where I pick up this fantastic Colombian that I was just talking about. Hector, the light Colombian. Fantastic. You should check it out at foodforestfarms.com. Head on over there, buy a pound, buy two, check it out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And if you are, you got some great coffee. Like, literally, if you're disappointed in the coffee you get, you probably just sip it up and man, it was a bad decision, I guess. But I don't think you're going to be disappointed. So go ahead and use LOTS 5% off for any order at foodforestfarms.com, or a one-time discount code for 10% off LOTS 10, LOTS 10. Get you 10% off over at foodforestfarms.com. Pickle Pete, hit that thumbs up. Appreciate that. Switching around, hitting all the thumbs. I always love all the thumbs. And good morning again, Rachel. How are the beans? What did we race? Rewilder Life was wondering how our snake plant is. Our snake plant's doing all right. She Velveeta just kind of is chilling on the table. We were going to split it up. We were going to do some experimenting with soil, water, and some other things. And then it got cold. We don't have enough room to propagate it inside. And it was significantly cold for a week or so. And now it's not. And we just haven't gotten back to it. So Velveeta's just chilling on the table. Just chilling on the table over there. Since we moved to our separate rooms, she just stays out on that kitchen table. So yeah, she's there. She'll be great. She'll get split here when I get a chance. When I get a chance, for sure. It's one of those things that she's just rolling along, and not much to do. She just sits there and cleans the air for us. So thanks, Velveeta. Sydney, little update on Sydney. Sydney's MIA. We're not sure. Wondering if Sydney burrowed down to lay some eggs, possibly staying cool and coming out at night because they are nocturnal. We haven't been up watching hers terrarium at all. Sorry, guys. But yeah, haven't seen Sydney in a few days. Probably been a few days now. Getting ready to possibly go through the dirt a little bit, see what's in there. But they are known to burrow down into the dirt, seal up to stay hydrated, and so I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. If I kill another snail, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the first time. Good morning, Hunter. How we doing? Thanks for joining over on Twitch. Appreciate that. So this morning's list pretty much is a recap of the weekend, some things that have been on my mind, some things I did this weekend, and just rolling with that. I'm going to swing through these comments here, see if I missed anything so far, and then we'll get rolling with bath time. Yesterday, so I've been getting a lot of sample products. I've been getting a lot of stuff that I can do associate or Amazon influencer videos with. Pickle Pete said so realistic habitat. Oh yeah. Sydney's habitat's like like 3 inches deep of dirt, and then all sorts of vegetation and things like that. So it is definitely a mirror of where he would be in the forest. So he, she, he. I don't know. Sydney hasn't really let us know if he, she has identified as a male or female. Since she is a hermaphrodite, he can decide, I think, which pronoun comes first, and we haven't been given the okay to go he, she, or she, he, she, he. K-Bonk says it. I guess. But it's not an it. It's I think an it would denotate a inanimate object, wouldn't it? Or just non-gendered. Are we just so used to having everything that's alive have a gender that I just assume that if it's alive it has a gender? Snail self. Thanks, Hunter. Appreciate that. No, it's definitely where it would be living in the woods for sure. Corey did a little digging that day that I went and got the terrarium. We had it just set up in a little a Tupperware thing. And it said it needs some soil. It needs some soil to be able to burrow down and kind of chill out in there. And it needs to be wet, moist. It's pretty damp in there. Corey's got a water dish set up. Then we have a log bark, a piece of decent. It's probably, I don't know. The log was probably 4 or 5 inches in diameter, and the bark was just a half of the bark in one piece. So it was like an arch, excuse me. So he's got like a little tunnel down there because it sits there and it's the half the arch, and he's got a little tunnel. Then leaves and sticks and all sorts of other fun stuff. There was literally plants growing in the soil that we put in there. It's actually soil from Jamie out at Off Grid Ping. I had brought it back. It's some of the soil. Weird. It's all coming back together. It's some of the soil that I grabbed from Off Grid Ping to do the snake plant propagation. Weird. I just had this tote of really good fertile soil, and we needed a couple inches of soil in this terrarium, so I just popped out and grabbed some of that. Well, lo and behold, there was residual seed or whatever in it, and he's got little plants growing in there. These little plants growing out of the thing. So I don't know. Seems like a pretty nice home to me. We plan on hopefully doing some snails when we get the cabin set up. We're thinking possibly breeding some snails. Pip nailed it. Pip says the term dude is non-gender specific. Wiki said so. Dude, snail dude. Dudes, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Good morning, Mike, the Philippine Nomad. Thanks for hanging out this morning, this evening. You having coffee with the show? You going to be able to sleep tonight? Anyway, I've been getting a bunch of products from Amazon. I'll talk about Amazon Live, yes, a little bit later, but the majority of the products have been for me. I've been scrolling through the listings and requesting products. Companies have been reaching out. I've been evaluating them on for me. If I would use them, if Corey would use them, if we could use them in the trailer, if we could use them out at Tim's property, all sorts of things like that. Well, a while back, I found a company. Well, actually, two companies. Mike says had some home brewed iced teas. Nice. Sun tea. Is that did you put it out in the sun? Is that the way you do it? Like here, I always remember everybody in New York growing up always had a jug of tea out on their sidewalk for every once in a while for a few hours. But anyway, I was pretty consistently looking for stuff for me, for Corey, for the property, for the trailer, whatever. And all of a sudden it dawned on me, we got these dogs that are pretty much they draw attention. Let's just say yesterday we were walking them and somebody was filming us as they drove by. So yeah, it draws attention. And so I was like, well, shit, she's got social media. I'm starting to do this TikTok thing. I'm starting to get ready to branch out into some other things. So I requested some dog products. One company sent me out a treat bag, it's like a fanny pack for treats. It was fanny pack for treats, and they also sent calming shoes. Now, the calming shoes are great and all, but Corey and I went to do a video yesterday, and we almost did it. I ended up not doing it because, just didn't. But we had the idea. We were going to take a picture of them before and after the calming shoes, and as we looked over, they were all like just passed out snoring on the floor. And so we we're going to do the before and then wake them up to give them the calming shoes and then have them go back to sleep and just film them because that's all they fucking do is sleep anyway. So, yeah, we haven't done the calming shoes. Canadian Farmstead. Canadian Farmstead says the people were. It wasn't the dogs they were filming. They thought it was a Sasquatch. Thanks. You do realize I'm not that big. Corey has been knocking on me pretty hard about my size lately. She's in the back going, I have not. She says I've been oversensitive, that I've been overreacting to things she's been saying. And that's probably true. That is probably true. But yeah, we were talking tall, height, and weight, and I might be a little sensitive about it, but I am not that out of the ordinary. Well, not as far as I think. My size. Yeah. Corey, we actually looked it up at one point. And I am significantly over the height of the average height for a male in the United States. It's not a sensitive side. Rachel asked if I have a sensitive side. It's not really a sensitive side. It's more I like busting her balls when she gives me shit about it. Because like I always insisted that she was under, if I was over the standard average American height, that she was under the standard American women's height, because she's like 5'2" and I'm 6'4", pushing 6'5". And it really came down to she was closer to the average than I was. Like I was significantly over the average, and it made me feel a little self-conscious. It made me feel like everybody's staring at me, and then I realized it wasn't because I was tall. It was just because I was fugly looking. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, I started requesting the dog products. I got the treat fanny pack thing. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Um it it's got a, I don't think I have it sitting right here. It's got a like dispenser pouch and a storage area for poop bags, which don't really work for us because we would need 4 or 5 of them per dump. Um, so it is what it is. It's got a nice big storage area for like your phone and your keys and all of that stuff. It's got a great pocket for treats, obviously. One thing with a treat pocket with our guys is if they realize that it's a treat pocket, um, they will they will absolutely destroy it. They won't bite it. They won't bite it or chew it up or anything like that. They will just rub their slobber face against it so often, so much, because they know it's treats. They won't walk good. They like when we have treats, it seems like it's more of a struggle because that's all they're paying attention to. Um Hunter says I'm gonna need my pew pew and pull out a biscuit. Um Really, with the dogs and with 3 of them with me, pew pew is like the last of my worries. Not many people rolling up on people with 3 dogs at 100 and 140 or greater walking with you and go, "Oh, I think they're a good bunch to fuck with." It just doesn't seem to happen. People are really kind to us when we have them with us. So haven't really done a lot with that. I'm going to do some review videos about it. I think they're up for this week. It's a really nice product. If you have a dog and you want or looking for a treat pouch, this thing probably work really well. It's just not ideal for our guys. Corey it was great because Corey used to keep treats in her pocket when we were back on the farm. You started with treats in your pocket, right? And then went to the treat pockets. So she started with treats in her pocket when she would walk the dogs on our road on our property. And the dog, Walter, would just slobber the side of her pants because he knew the treats were in there, and he'd like rub his jowls on her pants and try to sniff them and try to get them out, try to find them. And so by the time she got done with her walk, she had to change her pants because her pants were absolutely soaked. And so she got this brilliant idea, and I think it was a combination that she started wearing some shorts that didn't have wearing shorts that didn't have pockets, and also the fact that her pants were just getting destroyed by the dog slobbering all over them. So she took an old pair of sweatpants, right? They were like sweatpants, and she cut the elastic out of them and then kept the pockets. So like cut down around the pockets, and she would put on her treat pockets is what she called them, and she'd pull it up like she was wearing the sweatpants, and the pockets would just the inside part, the pockets would just hang down, and she would fill them with treats, and then the dogs would slobber the treat pockets instead of her pants. And it was a temporary solution. Walter was treat trained, the other 2 were not. So by the time the other 2 came around, Walter was weaned off the walking treats, and we've gone away from it. But definitely a solid product. The calming chews, I'm sure, work fine. We haven't busted into them yet. One thing about the calming chews that we're going to run into problems with is I think the dogs need like 7 of them. We were looking at the dosing instructions, and it was like 1 for a dog under 15 pounds. And I'm like, oh no. And we were looking, and the instructions only go up to like 90-pound dogs. And I'm like, so what do we do? What do we do for the 160-pound one? Not that Walter or Norman, the 2 enormous ones, actually need to be calmed down at all. But even Clyde at 140, 145-ish, how many of these things is he going to have to eat for it to have an effect? So we haven't really dialed down on those. But yesterday we did. A different company sent me a couple products that I was really interested in using. We'll probably end up doing some TikTok lives with these, possibly some Amazon lives with these. Definitely going to do a lot more content and videos. But company sent out. It's called We Love Doodles. Company is based around labradoodles, I believe, or all the other doodle crosses, which I don't hold against them. They sent me free products, and they sent me good products. They sent me out a slicker brush, which is like that detangling, dematting brush you've seen. If you got a long haired dog, you've definitely seen them. They got the long prongs on them, the long thin metal prongs, and you de-shedder brush basically, and you get it and it all sticks in there, and then you can just peel it out the other direction. So they sent one of those, and then they sent some shampoo, conditioner, and detangler in one. And the stuff was like oatmeal. I think it was like oatmeal lavender or something. And so we've had it on the counter, and we've been trying to get a time and figure out the logistics of giving Walter a bath. K-Bonk says doodles are everywhere. Yeah, they are. They are for sure. And it's just the branding of the company, and I think it's pigeonholing them, but they are freaking everywhere. Their products are great. We loved them. Yesterday we loved them. Pickle B says Scrappy'd love the slicker brush. They make a smaller one too. That was the cool part. They sent the large one, and the large one is actually large. Corey was impressed by its size. That's one of the things that we run into problems with Walter and Norman. Walter, especially because his fur is so thick, is you take one swipe with the one we had. We had a similar brush, and it was smaller, and both width and depth. So as soon as you made one swipe, you had to pull the hair out. This was a larger pad with deeper prongs. Both length and width were longer, and it would hold significantly more hair. You could get more brushing done before you had to peel it out, because once it's full and you keep going with that brush, it doesn't do anything. All it does is pack that stuff in there harder, and yeah. So we figured out the logistics of and the handle. The handle is fantastic. The handle was longer. It was more ergonomically correct. It had a better texture because we also use it when he's wet. So we brush him out randomly here and there, but it's also really good to use it when they're wet, like when you're showering or bathing them. And so the one we had, the handle would get kind of slippery. This material, whatever it was, when it got wet, it wasn't slippery. It was easy to hang on to, ergonomically nice. It was long. It had like ridges in it, so your fingers kind of sat in them, and it was both comfortable for me to hold on to with my enormous giant hands, and Corey to hold on to with her little midget hands. So it's a solid brush for sure. We really liked it. It did a good job. We were very impressed. We came in, we used it after the fact to brush them out a little bit more. So that's a definite solid recommend. If you are on my TikTok, I did a few videos about it yesterday. You can buy it through the TikTok link. It's also on Amazon. I'll be getting that videos up on the YouTube feed for them this week. Those will be a couple of the products I'll put out this week. And then the shampoo. The shampoo was fantastic too. It wasn't overpowering with the smell. A little bit went a long ways, which is very, very, very. They're leprechaun hands. Corey, Rachel says you have leprechaun hands, not midget hands. Rewilder Life wants to know if Corey, Rachel, Corey would like to know if that makes them lucky. Leprechaun hands, if they're lucky. I just know that I'm not sure the reason, but all the time growing up, all these older people that I hung around with, the guys that I hung around with at the golf course, and they always said, find a girl with small hands. And so I did. I'm not really sure what the point of that was, but anyway, back to the shampoo. She says, of course, the leprechaun hands are lucky. So the shampoo goes a long way, which with a dog this size with that much hair is very, very important. The stuff is, I don't know if you would really consider it spendy if you had a normal size dog. I think it's like 15, 16 bucks a bottle. And I think it would last forever with a smaller dog, with like a lab or maybe even a lap dog. That stuff is going to last forever. Um, the smell wasn't overpowering. Walter didn't seem to mind it. He doesn't seem to mind much, but he didn't seem to mind it. Where wasn't like sniffing around like crazy. It helped detangle a lot of his mats. Like I said in the opening, it was much overdue bath. And Pickle Pete said it was to make sure it was a girl. When those guys were telling me that, there was not a whole lot of not girls coming home with you if they looked like girls. It was a long time ago, man. When Brian was growing up back in the 80s and 90s, way back in the 1900s. Where's Jim today, by the way? Yeah, but it was it detangled, it dematted a little bit. The combination of the back was just wondering if it's bath time. Good morning, Kyle. Good morning. If if between the brush and the shampoo, it really helped with the mats. He had gotten a little out of control a little bit. We had to do a little trimming. Dixon says no dogs in the Roman baths. Way back in the 1900s. Yeah. So it was good. He is probably the most well behaved. Oh God. Hold on a second, guys. I gotta bring this up from Kyle. Kyle says he needs to wash the horsetail with some of the detangler and use the grooming brush, the slicker brush on his horsetail. And that's not on the 30-year-old horsetail. It's on the 34-year-old horsetail. Pickle Pete says he's thinking Jim's nurse forgot to set it as alarm. Maybe. Jim, if you're listening to this afterwards, make sure you reprimand that nurse for not getting you up in time. Or did you have a poopy diaper and they had to change it? You're going to be late. Pip says, quote, have patience with me. I'm from the 1900s. Pickle Pete says a brush for horse-sized dogs. I mean, it really like they're pony size. But he was looking beautiful. He behaves very well. He enjoys it. Way back from when he was a puppy and Corey was doing constant Instagram and Facebook for him, he was always getting brushed. He was always getting groomed. And a lot. It is a lot of work when they're that big and they have that much undercoat and not that he is absolutely disgusting by any means now, but he isn't like show dog. When he gets hot and he breathes and he pants a lot, he gets drool stains underneath his chin. And like if you don't brush it out every day, like we're talking 20 minutes, half an hour, daily, and then washing, and it just gets brownish. His chin gets wet and then he lays on the dirty floor is the issue. Maybe it's Jim's sponge bath day. Oh no. Thanks for making me think about Jim and a sponge bath. That's fantastic. Appreciate that, Chris. So he was groomed a ton when he was a puppy, and so he enjoys it. He likes it. He likes being brushed, he likes being washed, and he behaves very well. He gets super excited. Corey put up a video on her TikTok, or on the dog's TikTok, of him basically, when she was brushing him out, just sitting on her lap, and he ended up falling over. Basically, he ended up falling over. And if you're not in the Telegram group, you missed a video I posted yesterday. I was doing a ton of video while he was getting washed, and I was able to get a slow motion shot of him shaking out from the front, and you see his jowls like smacking on his face, like basically wrapping over his head and coming back down. And the favorite part for both Corey and I was, if you look at his feet, he's like tapping his foot as he's going back and forth. He's like getting into it so hard that he's like tapping his foot. And then as he shakes through his body, he starts tapping the other foot as he leans and gets to the other side. So that's pretty cool to see the mechanics of how this dog shakes out. And especially with his big floppy face and those big jowls, they wrap around his head. It's pretty fun. Pickle P says, I was at a piano bar at Super Bowl, and Marshawn Lynch's mom shows up with a mini horse, and man, did that liven up the party. I bet. I don't even want to go down that path. That's for an after dark show for sure. Let me see. So that was bath time. It was good. We enjoyed it. It went quicker than I thought it would. It still takes a significant amount of time. We ended up brushing him dry, or excuse me. So it's a whole process where we have a hair dryer for them. It's a big like canister blower dryer. And so we blow him out, and then we wet him down. We shampoo him. Corey blows him out. Corey wets him down. Corey shampoos him. Corey brushes him with the slicker brush, shampoos him some more, rinses it all out, brushes him some more, rinses him out some more, brushes him out some more. Then we take towels, like bath towels, dry him as much as we can, and then blow dry him for forever. We did it as long as we could, and then he was basically he was almost dry, and we let him go in and lay in front of the fans. And he came inside and laid in front of the fans, and it was probably another 3 or 4 hours before he was like pretty much dry. He's got so much fur. And that's probably the reason why it was so overdue, was that it's just such a long process. But anyway, he got a nice warm shower. I was good enough to take and move the shower, our propane water heater, took it off the shower, brought it over, put it on the back of the camper. We used our Pip says industrial strength hair dryer. It basically is. It really is. It's meant for dogs. That was a dog one, right? The hair blower dryer. Yeah, it that's what it is. It's got heat settings. It's it's pretty. It's like it looks like a little canister vacuum, basically. Oh, came with other attachments, but she threw them out because she didn't need them. But yeah, it's like a groomer's dryer. Yeah. But I moved the water heater. We used the shower head, just like we would be using a shower. We were able to get him on the camper carpet, the camper rug we have outside, so that the water going into the ground didn't get him muddy. Because it is a ton of water. That's another thing. It's not like we're just washing him for little rinse off. It's like gallons and gallons and gallons of water. So it's just a lot. It's a lot to do. Mobile. Now, as we're designing, these are all the things that we're designing into our next living arrangement. Is stuff like this, a place where we can go in and latch them to a loop, and they just stand, or they are actually contained, where we can bathe them, that it drains out, that it's got a yeah. Last night was a lot of brainstorming in my head about how to make that efficient. Um, when I have the opportunity to do whatever I want and set it up however I want. So hopefully Walter will be getting more baths. Clyde, he doesn't need anything really. Corey runs the thing on his back because he gets jealous basically that he's not getting brushed. He's got such thin fur that he's an interesting one. Basically we could wash him in under 10 minutes and he could run around for a couple minutes and be dry. And then Norman has super wispy, thin hair. It's not really as thick. And he hates being groomed. He absolutely hates it. So he is less of a long process because of all the hair and all the shit you got to deal with, and more the fact that you have to deal with him not liking it. So, yeah, he's our trouble child for sure. Clyde loves it. Clyde really runs over and wants it done, but he just doesn't have any fur. So we basically rub this brush on his back and go, whoop, whoop. Oh, you look so beautiful. You look so beautiful. Yeah. So that was the dog wash weekend. What else? TikTok update, TikTok shop. If you follow the show at all, you were here around last week, you know that I am in appeal for my TikTok shop. How that came about is a lot of people were trying to scam the system and become TikTok affiliates through a back door where they could open a TikTok shop and then have access to the TikTok affiliate program. Unbeknownst to me, I had already opened a TikTok shop to sell some of our knitted hats and sell some other one-off products here and there, just another sales avenue and eyes. Never really did a whole bunch with it, never sold anything on there, listed a bunch of stuff and took it down. And then when I started seeing stuff about TikTok shop, I went and I was like, oh, I can do this. It was also the reason I was able to go live before I had 1,000 followers. I put 6 and 2 together and got 8 and realized that when I opened the shop, it was when I was granted access to go live and I only had 800 followers or something. So it's all coming together now. But since there was such a huge influx of people just making shops to make them to not use them, they went through this weird verification thing last week before. I don't know. It was supposed to be. So basically you had to verify your ID and you had 7 days to do it. And if you didn't do that, it was going to cancel it may cancel your account. So I went to do it. I used the same ID. I used the same information as I signed up for the shop, and it wouldn't go through. It wouldn't go through. I ended up doing an appeal. The appeal said it was going to take 2 days to go through. Well, that was, what's today? Monday. I think that was last Wednesday I did it, and it's still an appeal. I see in my TikTok group, my group that kind of is a support group, I guess, a support group for TikTok shop affiliates. They're saying that some of them are getting taken down, some of them are not. I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm not really pushing super hard on the TikTok shop side, on the affiliate side, because if it gets shut down and I put a bunch of time into it, I'd really hate to just lose everything for some random reason. So we're just waiting. As of this morning, I checked, and it's still an appeal. If it's in appeal forever, if it gets to be another few days, I'll probably just consider it the fact that it's going to be in appeal forever and just roll with it. I don't know. Canadian Farmstead says maybe they're holding your strike against you. Maybe. No, that's a totally separate thing. And that's the weird part. So this appeal and this violation and everything is on my TikTok shop side. So like shop owner, like I'm listing the products and I'm selling them. The violation Canadian Farmstead is my strike that Canadian Farmstead's talking about was on one of my affiliate videos, which is a completely different thing. So they have TikTok shop for sellers and TikTok shop for creators. And the workaround that people were doing was they were opening a TikTok shop for seller, which gave you a TikTok shop for creator, which actually the minimum was supposed to be 5,000 followers for the TikTok shop for creator. So it was kind of a glitch in their system. I think they were trying to rectify that. But Canadian Farmstead was saying I got a strike. Yeah, I think it was Canadian Farmstead asked a question about one of my videos. By the way, if you're on TikTok and you see my videos, please drop a question. Pip says this TikTok thing sounds complicated. On the creator side, yeah, it is a fucking nightmare. And getting no answers and no customer service is it makes it harder. But I believe it was Canadian Farmstead asked a question about a backpack. One of the rules on TikTok is you have to have the product. So if you're doing a video, you have to have the product. Some people are skating by putting pictures of the product, this and that. Well, I did a video with the product. It was in my hands. Canadian Farmstead asked a question, and you can reply with a video. So I was replying to a video, replying to a comment. Replying to Pip is on TikTok. Chris, don't worry, he's there. You can reply to a video, a question. You can reply to a question on a video with a video, and so that's what I did. I answered his question with a video. I didn't realize that to answer a question about a product in the comments of a video about the product, you also needed to have the product in the video. So I sat down, I answered the question, and I got a violation point. 1 point. You get up to 21 points or something before they shut down your stuff. You get 21, so it is not a big violation at all. Like some violations can be like 6 to 8 points at a time, and this was 1 pointer. Like it was a minor PP slap. Canadian Farm says, I'm pretty sure you got the strike for mocking me in that video. Hold on 1 second, guys. Gotta love those dogs. Corey's a little busy and the dogs are just freaking the fuck out in the back. So, let's get going again. Sorry about that. Canadian Farm says, I'm pretty sure you got strike for mocking me in that video. Nah, I wasn't mocking anyone. I would never do that. I do appreciate the questions in the comments of the videos. Those do well. The video replies, as long as now I know that I have to have the brush. Because Dixon says, Mom, Dad said a bad word. Yeah, I said a few bad words. For sure. So that's TikTok. Rolling with that. I actually got a message this morning from a company, and they're like, hey, we saw you did another video. Can you send us the ad code? Which is really cool, because companies, as you do videos, Kyle, if you're still watching, there's this thing you can do when you have 5,000 followers where you can grab products from companies, do videos for them, and then they'll actually take money and run ads for them so they do better. And you make money when you sell the products. it's this weird thing that you're on social media for, is to maybe end up making money in it. Uh, in case you were wondering, I can help you get set up. uh, Pip says, "Nah, you're not on TikTok. Only videos seen." You're not on TikTok. Who has the Duction Cups account on TikTok? Wasn't there a Duction Cup account at one point? Canadian Farm said, nailed it. Kyle hates money. Kyle hates money. I mean, there is that. There is that for sure. So TikTok's going well. Yesterday I started or I didn't start. I did my second go round at Amazon Live. I did it the one morning, and then I skipped a couple weeks because I had stuff going on. I think skipped 1 week. I fired it back up yesterday. Oh, Pip says, okay, gotcha. So Amazon Live, the plans with that is, I think it's going to be Sunday mornings. It's looking like 8 Central, basically QVC style, rolling through products, talking about them. I'm going to be pulling products from the week, maybe products I've been using a lot more. Yesterday, I focused on things that I've gotten, that I've done reviews, that I continue to use, that I like more and more and more and more every time I use it. Things that I got new this week, things that I'll be testing out the upcoming week, and just kind of roll for about an hour and bullshit about projects. It was nice. Chris Dixon and Scramblin' showed up in the comments. You can show up in the comments. You can also go to Amazon Live, go to my Amazon and go to my storefront at amazon.com/shop/the Lots Project. And it should show my old lives, and you can watch them. If you watch the beginning of the one from yesterday, it it has a little surprise at the beginning. I didn't realize that it was there. Dixon says, sorry, you couldn't stay for the whole bit. No problem. It was perfectly fine. I like having people roll in and out. It keeps the chat fresh. I appreciate you just stopping by for any amount of time. But you can go back and you can watch the video. If any of the products in the video interest you, you can click on the direct link there, pick it up. I get commission on that, so that's pretty cool. But I'm going to continue to do that Sunday mornings, 8 Central. Seems to be a good time. Have my coffee, talk about some products. It's kind of like Sunday morning QVC, except better. Still really dialing in what I want to talk about, how I want to lay it out, things like that. But as anything, it just takes time to get it dialed in. So that's cool. I'm starting to do that. My weekly update video I haven't done in 2 weeks now. I'm transitioning to monthly with that. It got to be very, very repetitive with the Amazon Influencer weekly update. Basically, I was doing the stats. The highlights, lowlights for the week were really becoming the same thing now that I'm in the groove, in the grind of doing 5 videos a week and blah 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 right around. It was either, hey, I did 4 videos this week, I did 6 videos this week. It was pretty much the same. So I've decided to kind of scale back now that I have this will be month 4 in the books. Scale back to monthly, and we can compare month to month and see growth there. Just an FYI, I got two days left, and we're and I'm up like 40% this month. So thanks guys for all the help. If you're buying through those Amazon links, if you're watching the Amazon videos on Amazon and checking those out, if you're going to my storefront, I appreciate that. And if you're using the affiliate links from the YouTube videos and all of that those revenue streams are up also. So thanks guys for all the support you offer by using those links. It's the easy thing to do. It's the cheap, free thing to do that benefits me, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's an extra click. So here's to you guys for helping that out and helping that grow. So yeah, the TikTok live was pretty solid. I enjoyed that. Finally getting paid from the Amazon Influencer program. if you've done that, if you're in the Amazon influencer program, if you've done Amazon Associates, which is basically the regular Amazon links, you know that it can be tedious, to say the least, to set up your payment. And how that goes down, basically, Chris Dixon says he immediately rolled over to TikTok and searched D cups, and it wasn't about ducks. Sorry, honey. I was doing research for a guy in Brian's podcast audience. I was just checking out what it came up when I searched D cups, because he does this thing called duction cups. I swear I wasn't trying to look at boobies. Anyway, the Amazon payout thing is kind of infuriating. It's 2 months delayed, which is it's perfectly fine. Basically, Amazon has a 30-day return policy. They're covering their ass by not paying out commission and then getting a return and having to recollect that. So basically, sales date, ship date, return date passes, and then it's available the next month. So you got a 2-month delay. They pay out once a month, and there's all sorts of things you have to fill out. You have to, and it makes sense. You got to fill out your tax information. You got to fill out your payment, where you want it sent, and this, that, and the other thing. Well, they don't tell you what you have to fill out. They don't tell you if you haven't filled out everything properly. You just wait until that day of the month, the end of the month, and see if you got a deposit. And if you didn't get a deposit, you go onto your account and you're like, whoa, what do I do? And this is me. I mean, most people are probably smart enough to figure this out the first time. But I went in and I was like, I didn't realize that it was two separate things. I figured if I submitted tax information and payout information for one thing on Amazon, that it would work for both. Not so much. So the first time I went in and I hadn't had my tax stuff in, I put my tax stuff in, and it was accepted. It was verified, this and that. So I wait till the next month, and I was supposed to get a payment. I didn't get a payment. I was like, wait, huh? And I go in and I realize, so they pay out the last day of the month. So by the time I realized it wasn't deposited, I went in and it was like the next month. It was like the 3rd. And I go in, I was like, oh, I figured if they had one deposit account on file for me, they would just deposit the money there. Oh, no. You have to put in a new one for this deposit. Okay, makes sense. That's cool. I'm going to update it right now. Should be good to go this month. I hit update and it says, just FYI, the information updated today, so say March 3rd, will not be updated till April 1st, which is after the next payment date. So basically, unless you're in there the day before the end of the month and in between the fact when you think things are messed up, it's like a 2-month cycle. 2 months to wait to see if you did it right. 2 months to sit there and think about, did you do it right? I wonder if I did it right. Well, I must have done it right, because I got a 3-month deposit for my Amazon influencers. So bravo to me. I was able to get it right. I got it all filled out and everything's cool. So hey, finally got paid for January, February, December, January, February. I got paid. I actually made like $4 in December because I started like 2 days before the end of December and had a sale. And then, January, February are all caught up. And now, should be good to go going forward. So rock and roll and make some money and get that deposited. That is a good thing. But if you are in Amazon Associates, Amazon affiliates, or influencers, definitely reach out if you're having trouble setting things up. I'd be happy to tell you what I learned, what I figured out. And if you're rolling into it new, reach out. You can email me, Telegram, whatever, wherever, anytime. Just reach out and I can help you out with that. So that's good. Getting paid now. And yeah, got 5 minutes. Got 5 minutes or so. This is about perfect. So last night, Corey and I kind of got burned out on the shows we were watching already, probably because we'd seen them before or whatever. And so last night we wanted something new before we got ready to go to bed. We watched a movie. We watched Eight Heads in a Duffel Bag. If you haven't seen it, it's from the 90s. It's Joe Pesci. It's pretty funny. I like it. Corey could have probably gone without it. Or what did you think of the movie? It was okay. It was okay. I thought it was good. It's on Prime right now if you're interested. But we needed one thing before bed. It was like too late to watch another movie. It was too early to kind of sack out and go to bed. We didn't want to just sit and stare at our phones. We wanted to watch something on TV. So Corey picked this shit. She picked this show. And it starts, and the show's name is Last Car Standing. Anybody seen this show? Anybody watched Last Car Standing? It's a Canadian game show, which I didn't find out until later. Like at one point, I was like, "Is this Canadian? Is it this can't be American? This can't. It's not British. They don't have an accent. It's not in the U.S. It isn't. It can't be." And so all of a sudden we see some advertising in the show, like on the side of a vehicle. I don't even think it was advertising. It was like Canadian Tire. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Up north, eh? So this show, Canadian Farm says it's a Canadian game show. Well, that was your first mistake. Yeah, this thing was something else. Like literally, they didn't have the budget for the show to buy I think it was 12 contestants. Well, 6 contestants at the beginning, and then they each had a teammate. They couldn't even buy them all matching t-shirts with different colors. Like they had to provide their own clothes. And so they all had different colors. And so they had like the blue team, the red team, the orange team, the green team, whatever. And so they show them, and the orange team, the girl had an orange t-shirt on, the dude had like a red button-down polo shirt on. Corey's like, the guy couldn't come up with an orange shirt to wear. I'm like, the show couldn't come up with enough money to buy a few t-shirts. Chris Dixon says, Last Car Standing, talk about your all-time time wasters. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Basically, the premise of this show is they make them drive. Like this episode was called Boats, and they were old beaters. They were definitely old beaters. Like I think the one that won was like an 85 Dynasty or something. They had like 91 Buick at 85. They had a mid 90s Cadillac Eldorado. Yeah, these people had some cars for sure. They're all pushing like, whoa, oh yeah. The thing that clued me in that it was Canadian was when they were showing the vehicles. They're like, this car has 297,000 kilometers. I'm like, oh Jesus, where are we? Pip says, is this like Junkyard Wars? Not quite. Not quite. And so they do rounds of competitions, and the loser of each round, they get what's called they get the spike is what it's called. And so basically they got a excavator with a claw grip on the end of the boom, and they pick the car up and they put it on this huge spike, and they like slam it down through the spike, and it goes down, and then they pile them all up through the episode, and the last car standing wins a $10,000. Okay, they don't win $10,000. they're very adamant in saying they win $10,000 in automobile upgrades. I'm like, what is this? And so they tease this the whole show, and this guy wins, and he's all excited. They're like, but wait. And the dude that hosts it, is like, the dude that hosts it is like a poor man's Ryan Seacrest, maybe. Who did I say you looked like last night? No, it was somebody else. It was this dude. He's something else for sure. But at the end, he's like, the guy wins. He's like, but wait, there's more. You can take the $10,000 in vehicle and automotive upgrades, or you get a free spot in the finale where you could win up to $50,000 in automobile upgrades. Like, they're not even giving away for the grand prize. They're not even giving away cash. It's just like, what the fuck? It's interesting. It's an interesting show. And the fact that they got a bunch of Canadians on the screen, there were some weird like brother sister interactions. There were like, we were kind of watching this going, what? This just isn't quite right. This just isn't quite right. So if you got a few minutes, I think it was 40 minutes long, and you want to check out the first episode of Last Car Standing, it is now available on Prime. Pull it up, and don't don't hurt me. Don't hate me if you watch it. Laugh, enjoy it. It's not supposed to be serious, I don't think. I think it might have been serious when they made it, but I'm not telling you to watch it and take it seriously. Chris Dixon says you get $10,000 in Canadian Tire money. You get gift cards. What does that roll out to be, Chris? What's that cost Canadian Tire? About $79.55. Isn't Canadian Tire like the Harbor Freight of Canada, or is it worse or better? Might be better. Is it like AutoZone? About 80. Right. Oh, so yeah, it definitely isn't a highly recommended show for me, but if you need a laugh and you need something to watch and go, well, that was interesting. I'm excited to go on to a different type of car. I think the next one is going to be mid-size beaters. This was boat beaters. Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. I'll have to let you guys know how the next episode goes if we happen to get to it tonight. So anyway, I gotta wrap up, guys. I gotta get some stuff done, and then I'm gonna be heading out to Delinquent Scully. It looks like there's gonna be a little bit of work going on today, and gonna pop out there and help those guys, see if I can lend a hand, and get some other stuff done. It's Monday. We got a whole week ahead of us, guys, for sure. A whole week. Beyond that, like I said, if you guys are on TikTok, I appreciate it if you jump over and leave some comments, ask some questions on the videos I'm doing, the product videos. Excuse me. Follow the account, share the videos, repost the videos, like them, whatever you can do. Any bit of interaction, any bit of interaction with the post helps. So that is great. Other than that, guys, I appreciate everyone. Hey, John Palmer, hello. Before we close up, I appreciate everybody listening. If you enjoyed the show, it's always free to hit that like, share, and subscribe to return value for value. Please consider joining me on YouTube membership tiers or listening on any value for value platform like Podverse or Fountain.fm. You can visit thelotsproject.com or comfreyroots.com to find out more information about me, find all the products that we have, t-shirts, mugs, and all the sorts, plus Comfrey Roots over at comfreyroots.com. Weird. Other than that, it's Monday, guys. Get it started right, rock it out, have an awesome day, get shit done, and we'll catch up with you again in the morning.